Okay, guys, welcome and thank you guys for being on time. As always, I want to welcome you guys to the A team. Thank you for showing your face. I know you guys have missed my voice, etc., but finally I'm back. So without further ado, let me do what I always do, which is just share a bit about us, which is the following. So the vision behind the A team and the community that we're building is quite clear, and it's simply to bridge the practical knowledge gap between the ambitious and financially blessed. How we're doing that, the mission is by identifying, nurturing, and integrating current and high performing individuals or high performers into our network of online world creators and what our members are a family of ambitious internet entrepreneurs, professionals, and investors on a mission to know ourselves, clarify the vision, and of course, make it real. Now, our core values are as follows. The first one being ambition. Second, gratitude, self-awareness, perseverance, continuous learning, eclecticism, and impact. So every single one of you on this call, you guys know you have these traits, so well done. So the A team, the A in 18 stands for active, and that's active commitment today, inspires victory every day. And of course, we affirm, we commit, we test, we iterate, we validate, and we execute on our plans to make it real. Now, I'm going to quickly just share, Simon's going to quickly share a link in the group, in the chat. So if you guys look at the chat, you should see it somewhere. And Shan has literally just shared a book club. So what it is literally a community that we come together. We share three books on mindset, business, and money a month, and then literally there'll be a Zoom call twice a month where we can discuss it and break it down. It's a beta phase right now. We want to test out to see if it's of value for you guys. So if you guys are interested, then feel free to join in. Sign up using the link that Sam just shared. So yeah, links in the chat. Additionally, to join the A team, if you guys are interested in understanding what the A team is about, how we can add value to you and your business, or you just want to get shit done, then literally just email admin@karun.com, subject line join the A team, and Layla will handle all your inquiries for you. So at this point, I want to ask every single one of you to kindly block distractions. I know what time is it today? Nothing's on today actually. Love Island is finished. There's no distractions. Football's not on yet. So hopefully you guys are with us 100%. We're gonna have a great speaker today who's kindly shared some of his time, valuable time to share with us. So much appreciated. But you guys know that when we start, we like to start with a quote. And today's quote is, "Our acts can be no wiser than our thoughts." And that is from George Clason from a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. And you guys know how big I am on mindset. So it starts with the mind, guys. So as a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinketh, not as a man thinketh not, he will never be. That's my little twist on the Bible quote. So make sure you do that. So without further ado, let me quickly unmute. Andy, do you want to unmute yourself quickly? Is that all right?
Hey, how's everyone doing? How you doing?
I'm doing great. They can't speak right now because they're muted. However, I'm sure they're doing amazing as well. But we'll get to that. But before we even introduce you, what I want to do is kind of give some accolades and just share some of your background to the individuals that I may not know who Andy Ayim is. So I want to introduce you guys to Andy Ayim. So Andy Ayim, he's an entrepreneur, speaker, investor, and product manager. He's the managing director of Backstage Capital London, which invests 100K and supports women, people of color, and all LGBT founders. Isn't that LGBTQ founders? By the way, that's fine. And additionally, he serves on the board of YSYS, Flipside, and Mixtape Madness, a startup he co-founded with his brothers and friends. And as well as that, in 2018, Andy was named in the Financial Times as one of the top 10 most influential BAME tech leaders in the UK. So without further ado, Andy, please, welcome. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. And I
Yeah.
just want to say a quick thank you for having me today. And I love what you're doing here, building community. When you have an intimate community where you can have a one-to-one relationship with everyone that's your customer base. And it's one of the things you really miss actually when you scale a company. So I think you've got something special right here. And the fact that there's only actually 7 people on the call right now is actually good because it allows you to then tailor your content and your conversation to really add value to those who are here. So I appreciate everyone that's taken out time today, and hopefully you get a lot of value out of this conversation that we're going to have today, which is going to be much more of a dialogue, but hopefully some value add with some of the lessons I can share with you that I've learned from supporting D2C brands across the years.
Perfect, man. Thank you, bro. It's much appreciated. It shows your heart as well, man. Yeah, I'm going to get emotional today. I mean, it's nice and intimate. But as always, guys, before we get started, you guys are muted now for a reason, just to make the audio clear for the recording. However, feel free to chime in the chat if you have any questions. They will most likely be answered in the Q&A at the end. However, If you guys want to talk and unmute yourselves during the Q&A, just let me know, or you can unmute yourselves. Actually, I've given you the permission to do so. So without further ado, Andy, again, thank you for joining us. What I want to do is that just kind of give people like an indication of who's Andy Ayim, what's your background. Just give us what's your story so far.
Sure. So I'll get one of my slides up to tell this story, if that's okay.
Sure. That's fine. Do you want me to unshare my screen? You can share your screen now.
It's okay. I can do it. Oh no, I can't. Can I?
Now you can do it. Go try it.
There we go. Perfect. Thank you. So can everyone see my screen? It should be loading up now.
Yeah, let us know in the chat, guys, if you can see the screen perfectly fine.
Yes. You can just see my title screen at the moment, yeah?
Yeah, people can see it. Perfect.
Awesome. Cool. So I'll just walk through a quick, brief history of me. About a decade ago, I co-founded a startup called Mixtape Madness with my brother and a few friends. Initially, we were trying to scratch our own itch. We loved urban grime and UK hip-hop music. You know, everyone from Gigs to Dizzy Rascal to a lot of these classic guys like Kano, who probably the young people today think are old school, but that's what I grew up on. So what we were doing at the time is creating a central location online where we could consume this music that we love, because it was very fragmented. It was on pirate radio, on dodgy little forums, on very rubbish and poorly maintained websites. So we wanted to create one location online where you could listen and share this music that we all loved. And before we knew it, by spending time with our customers, going to raves, going to unis, going to clubs, spending time with small independent labels, we had amassed a following of 70,000 registered users, and we were able to then track their data and understand actually who was listening to what type of music and what parts of the UK. So, you know, we could actually provide advisory services to say, you know, gigs, if you want to do a tour, you should do it in Manchester, Leeds and Birmingham, because we can see by the analytics, that's where you're getting most of your downloads and listens from. And also actually a lot of your fan base who are 18 to 24-year-olds are females, and they like tracks 7, 5 and 4. So we're able to show that level of kind of like data and analytics on a lot of the acts that we were serving. And then as a result of that, we're able to start understanding actually the emerging brands that were coming up today that could be big stars tomorrow. So we started working with a lot of the labels such as Island, Universal and Warner Music, for example, in getting a lot of these artists to bigger labels. And that's where really the business really took off, and it's grown now till today. I'm on the board today. My brother's still the CEO, but it's grown now into a 7-figure business. And we're very proud that we bootstrapped it and not taking in VC and angel funding. So that was really at the start of my journey, and I was doing that part-time whilst working. And at the time, I was working in the new ventures team at a management consultancy called EY, and really just working with them on new markets and new ventures here in the UK and in Italy. And then I progressed to a startup consultancy called Elixir, where I worked across Africa. So South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Tanzania, Uganda, work with a lot of financial services firms on this kind of problem they all had around 80% of Africa being unbanked, and this secondary problem they had around recovering debt. So whenever they were doing loans to people would move from one shack to another, change their mobile number, and suddenly disappear off the face of the earth. So it's hard to recover debt, which was fascinating. And then during the second year of that business, I had an idea with one of the partners to go out to San Francisco and to rent an apartment for 7 months and to network with a lot of the leading VCs over there, like Andreessen Horowitz, Sequoia, Greylock Partners, and Lightspeed Ventures. And basically connect a lot of their startup portfolio to our African and UK clients like Barclays Africa and compare the market. They would fly them out to Silicon Valley for like an emerging technology tour, give them a talk on emerging technologies like machine learning and AI, and then introduce them to relevant portfolio startups that can help them with the problems that they're solving. So for example, if a customer said to us that they're struggling to get a single view of the customer across all platforms, would introduce them to someone like Intercom who can provide that software to help them solve that problem. I then kind of had a bit of a distaste to VCs because I saw how many startups were kind of on this hamster wheel trying to raise and raise and raise. So I said to myself, I'm going to come back to London and I want to join a startup that isn't VC backed. And I found one called World First, which was an international money transfer company, which also provided international multi-currency accounts for e-commerce sellers and SMEs. where I really started working with a few more like D2C brands in my journey, starting from there. And with World First, helped to build their product and UX team here in London, Hong Kong, and in Shenzhen to a team of 15. And then they got acquired actually by Ant Financial, which is part of the Alibaba group, for $700 million. Then more recently, last year, I joined Entrepreneur First. I was going to start a startup, wasn't really feeling the way in which they work and their frameworks, and that method of starting a startup was very artificial to me. So I left there, did a few kind of freelancing gigs as a senior product manager, coaching chief product officers in places such as Investec Bank. And then I joined Backstage Capital last year, which was mentioned on the intro, where we basically built an accelerator business from scratch for Backstage. And then I went on to lead the London program over the last 4 or 5 months, where we've invested $500,000 into 5 different startups, one from Kenya, the rest here from the UK, and just really accelerated them through growth over a 3-month program. In total, we invested 2.5 million across 25 different startups. And again, I was leveraging a lot of my product management expertise to just help these founders focus on building products that customers love, and actually help that lead to organic growth. Because a lot of people make the mistake sometimes of, thinking too much about CAC and LTV and investing too much money into growth marketing when they're actually acquiring customers into a leaky bucket. So they need to focus more on improving the product experience, the onboarding experience, so that actually we have a product that has strong engagement and that customers are going to come back to, and then we can invest into CAC, into marketing, into that LTV. So a lot of the times I'm fighting for budget from like a growth marketer, because I'm going in there as a product manager to audit the whole experience end to end, from onboarding through to purchase, and going in there and improving that experience so that you have something quality to acquire customers into. Unfortunately, earlier this year, I was named one of the top 10 most influential leaders in the FT, which means nothing to me because I don't do it for accolades or for awards. I'm still out here grinding. I'm not sitting on millions. And then I also joined the Obama Foundation's Emerging Leaders program out in Europe, and got to meet Obama and the rest of the emerging leaders out in April earlier this year. And that's more around shaping policy, around technology, and making sure that basically as Black young people, we have our voices heard and acted upon at a more government level when shaping policy. And then today with AHVC, I have a range of products from ebooks through to online courses, through to events that I do, and my blog and my newsletter, where I literally just produce products, services, and content to just democratize knowledge and access to capital and access to that network when it comes to venture capital and building a startup. So yeah, sorry that's a little bit expanded and long, but I think it helps to have a little context before going into the content.
At all. I must say that's the most colourful intro I've ever heard in this A call, so that's a round of applause for you, a virtual one. However, all of the colourful stuff that you mentioned, Sam's only comment is that your trim is loud in that picture still. So I feel like that's where his focus is. But on a serious note, thank you for sharing that.
No problem. And I'm happy to share that picture with Sam, and I'm happy he appreciates it. I'll DM him the number for my barber. Trim it.
No worries. Okay, cool. So quickly, so do you want to keep your screen shared? So we've got a few questions. You're going to do a presentation for us in a second, right? So do you want to keep it?
Yeah. We can go through the questions. I don't mind. I can switch the screen off.
No worries, that's fine. All right, cool. I've got a few questions before we get into the your presentation anyway. So the first question, so you mentioned it briefly. So the question I have for you is what exactly do you do? So you mentioned product management. So not everyone knows what that means. And how does it add value to entrepreneurs? So could you explore that?
Sure. So a product manager's job is twofold. One is to build products that customers love. And the second is to avoid you building products that nobody wants. Okay. So there's a process called product discovery, which is all about actually how do we figure out the right problem to solve and the right product to actually go and build. Because the most expensive thing that you can do as a team is commit to code something that hasn't been validated with customers. Because if you spend time coding and getting your developers to actually work on is that audio choppy? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Okay, I can hear it quite fine. Is it fun? Is it audio funny for anyone else? Let us know.
I'll carry on while you let us know. So for a product manager, your sole job is to make sure that before we commit to writing a line of code, we've validated with real customers whether it's worth doing this or not. because it's so expensive to commit to code, write code, and then find out that nobody wants it. So our sole goal is to really prioritize and make sure that we're working on the right things before it commits to code.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you for sharing. The next question I have, which would probably be better if you just kind of jump into the presentation, is that may you briefly cover the basis of product management in line with e-com? So I'm guessing that's your cue to jump in the presentation. Is that all right?
Yeah. Let's jump right in, and please ask any questions along the way. I'm not going to look at the comments too much, but if there are anything in the comments, just let me know, and I'm happy to dive back in. Okay. Just give me a thumbs up or something in the comments if you can see my screen again. And Ty, you can see my screen?
Yeah, everything's fine. Should be right.
All right, cool.
Perfect.
Right, so the focus of today is, I can actually talk across this funnel really, but I want to focus our session down today. So I'm not going to talk about the different routes in for customers, organic or paid marketing. And like I said before, I feel like product management actually is the most efficient form of marketing and leads to organic growth, because if you have a great product, it's shareable. If it's shareable, people are sharing word of mouth. If it's word of mouth, it's the cheapest form of marketing, right? So we're not going to cover that today. We're going to focus our attention on site visitors, okay? And when someone visits your site, and I have a 10-second rule, and I can't remember the gentleman that was on the last 18 talk, but he was really good at dissecting a lot of websites, Ty.
Martin Lucas.
Martin, excellent talk on really dissecting websites and experiences. So today we're going to focus on site visitors, but really hone in on your value propositions, which wasn't covered in that talk. Okay. Yeah. On another day, we could touch on checkouts, which is a whole different talk, especially about reducing abandonment rates, which is the big battleground for e-commerce clients, especially with shipping costs when it's international, where a lot of people lose customers. And then finally, purchase and sometimes repurchasing through like targeting people through newsletters. So I can cover the whole funnel, but today we're going to focus on site visitors. And you see there on the left, it's a conversion game. You have to know your numbers. And before you even think about raising any money or even getting working capital loans, you have to be watertight on understanding your conversion and understanding how that links to the margins that you have within your business. I hope that makes sense. So winning at scale. As an investor, I meet a lot of people that come to me thinking that they want funding, but a very small minority of them that have a business model that is worth funding. And the reason is because venture capital as an asset class looks for 10x plus returns. They do not always get 10x returns, but they're looking for really ambitious founders that want to win at scale and that can provide them a return on their money. Does that make sense? So if I'm putting in 10 million, really, I want to bring back 100 million because I want to be able to pay back my limited partners who invested in my fund and pay them back, because if I pay them back, they're more likely to invest in my next fund and others are going to be more attracted to investing in my fund. So that's why a lot of people here in the UK are not very attracted to e-commerce startups here in the UK, because we're not seeing enough winners at venture scale, okay? And I'll give you an example here, okay? If you look at Lashonistas, yeah, who makes these eyelashes, okay? In The Sun, they report she left school with just one GCSE. Wow. And now she owns a £5 million false lash brand loved by celebs, okay? In the UK, in The Sun, they're reporting that there's that scale. 5 million is nothing. I'm telling you, 5 million is not big money when it comes to venture scale, okay? If you look below at the US brands, 50 million is 10x 5 million. And that's what it means to win at scale. And these are companies that won first in the US before they went international. A lot of these examples like Lashonistas are big just in the UK, but the UK is tiny, okay? You need to win at scale, and to win at scale, you need to consider other markets if you're based here in the UK. You know, I even advise some of the startups that I'm speaking to at the moment, for them, is strategically go and win in the US before you even win here in the UK, because we follow fashion and globalization means that we're going to copy the US anyway. So win in the US to grow over here, because that's what a lot of the US brands do first anyway. And look at some of the examples here. Bonobos, 310 million. Okay, Casper, 100 million. Chubbies, 40 million a year. BarkBox, 150 million a year. If you want to get venture capital to fund your business model, understand that this is the type of business you're going to have to build. If you're not willing to build that type of business, venture capital is not for you. Does that make sense? And that's not a bad thing. It's just understanding the type of business that you're trying to build. And we can go into that if you have any questions around like what's fit for venture, what's not, and what's your alternatives when it comes to finance. But in order to really have that discussion, you need to understand your margins and what drives your margins and what drives your revenue and your CAC and your LTV. Without that grip and that understanding, it's not worth having that conversation.
Quickly, Andy, do you mind, just for people that may not know the jargon of CAC and LTV, I know it, but do you mind just elaborating? Right.
No problem. So CAC refers to cost of acquisition, customer acquisition costs. Okay. So when I'm paying £1.50 for a Facebook ad or £2 for a Google ad, okay, that is my cost of acquisition. That's how much it's costing me to acquire a customer. If I'm paying £50 for adverts so it costs me £50 of adverts in order to get one advert that converts and buys, then £50 becomes my cost of acquisition. Okay. And it's really important to understand because there's a ratio between your lifetime value, or your customer lifetime value, which is your LTV, and your CAC, your customer acquisition costs. So for example, if it's £50 for me to acquire a customer, then I would want my lifetime value, my LTV, to be at least a ratio of 3-1. So I need to at least make £150 off that customer in that lifetime. The challenge is for early brands is you don't have lifetime data. You've just started. So you don't know what you're going to earn from your customers yet. So you're even more incentivized to try and go through as much organic growth as possible. And if you do spend on acquiring customers, you want to keep that as low as possible because you want to know that at least one transaction covers your CAC by at least 2 or 3x or at least 5x, depending on what you're selling and the price point. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, if it makes sense for you guys, just let's be interactive. Just give us a thumbs up or yes in the chat, and if it doesn't, we have to explain it again. So perfect.
No problem. So today I want to really go through just a few key things. One is nailing your value proposition for your website. Another one's call to actions. That's what CTA stands for. Call to action entry points to your value proposition. And I'll make all of this very clear. I'm going to speak in layman's terms so that a 5-year-old or your grandma understands it. So if you want to play this back to your grandma or a 5-year-old to test it, please do and let me know. Next, I'm going to touch on entry points through different ads. And then finally on internationalization, which I want everyone to consider because that's how you win at scale. And we all want to try and grow big and meaningful businesses because you have ambitions. All right, so nailing the value proposition. I just want to read out this quote quickly from Airbnb's ex-growth lead, okay? Understanding the context and the expectations of your audiences is vital to engage in them, okay? Not understanding your investor, understanding the context and expectations of your audiences. That's understanding your customer is vital to engage in them. Why? Because you understand the language that they use, you understand the psychology of your customer, and you understand the behavior. And remember, you're serving your customer, not yourself. It doesn't matter that is your idea. It matters about who you're serving and who you're trying to add value to. So you need to spend as much time with your customer as possible, always validating and testing things and really understanding their language so you can play it back to them in ads, in the value proposition, in attracting them to come and buy from you, okay? So at Airbnb, we tailored the value propositions all the way from the ad creative to the landing pages. And this is what I want to go through today. Okay, through that customer testing and that feedback that you're getting from customers, literally using their language for your ad creative and for your landing pages. Okay, so what we need is you need to convince, or another word for that is convert your customers why they should purchase your item when they visit your site rather than from our competitors. Okay, and then deliver on that promise. Okay, the reason these words have been highlighted is because when I say deliver, it means you need to make sure your shipping and fulfillment is watertight, okay? No late shipments, no 20-day shipments, nothing that's out of the normal and seen as abnormal because you know what the normal industry average is because we're ordering stuff every day off ASOS and all of these websites. You need to be at least benchmarking with those kind of experiences, okay? When I'm saying convince or convert, we need to be speaking our customers' language and not have these websites that are rubbish. What is the messaging that converts our customers in the first 10 seconds of them being on our website? And when we talk about the why is all about speaking to the emotion of what your product provides. What is the problem your product provides? How do you speak to the emotion of the customer and how the customer feels? Okay. And some tips here at the bottom. Just always try and be concise with your messaging. Less is more. You know, share the benefits. I shouldn't have to scroll down for days to work it out. Okay, use big, bold, colorful messages featuring real people that are showing real expressions. And I'm going to walk through some case studies in a second. And then take your best shot at the pitch at first, and then keep iterating as you learn more from your users. So don't spend 3 months trying to perfect your value proposition. Get something out there based on what you've heard from users, and keep on iterating on it based on what you keep on hearing, because you're going to pay attention to the pattern of what words customers are using when giving you feedback, or when they're purchasing, or when you're speaking to them. Use that, especially when you're doing live events and activations of customers. Okay. All right. So our first example here, okay, The Honest Company by Jessica Alba. Again, look at that. Concise, less is more. Please glam responsibly. That's it. 3 words. Glam responsibly. Why does she highlight responsibly? Because clearly to me, she's trying to talk to the ethics of her company. She's trying to show that this is a responsible, sustainable company. The honest company. Okay. Let's look down. What are the things that she's highlighted in terms of the benefits? Flexible, hydrating, clean power technology, vegan, gluten-free. Okay. Big call to action. Shop now. You know, big call to action at the top, free trial. Big call to action, bundles, best deal. They're trying to drive me and drive my attention to click on these call to actions, okay? They didn't highlight feeding. They didn't highlight personal care, because they really want to target me and get me to what converts or what's the best deal for them, what they've understood from their customers, okay? That's how they form their bundles, their free trial. You know, they think if I get a free trial, I'm going to convert. And they're going to work hard through their newsletters to convert me, okay? So look at those call to actions. They all have purpose behind them. Don't just put out call to actions on your website. Have purpose. And the good thing about this screenshot is this is what you arrive on when you get on the page. I don't have to scroll down, okay? I can shop straight away. I don't have to scroll anywhere. And that's important for you all to understand. Let's look at another example, okay? Smile Direct Club. Again, big, colorful background, blue, a real person smiling, showing me their teeth. Why are they showing me their teeth? Because smiling is contagious, right? Be concise with less words. Smiling is contagious. She's trying to look cute in that picture. Why? Because she's trying to convince me that I need to get my teeth fixed, okay? Because what do they provide? What she's holding. Clear allergens delivered direct to you for up to 60% less. 60% less of what? I don't know, but that sounds interesting. What should I do next? Click the call to action. What does it say? I'm a candidate, right? She's got a smile that's beautiful. I want a beautiful smile. It costs 60% less. Smile is contagious. I've caught the bug. I'm going to click. I'm a candidate, right? This is how it works. It's a game. It's psychological, okay? And again, a weaker call to action, but it's the same thing again in the top right-hand corner is I'm a candidate. Not sign in, or not get started. If you signed in before, you can sign in again. I don't need to show you, put attention on the sign in button. A lot of mistakes is people put the same attention on register and signing in. No, you put the attention on register. People coming for the first time need to register. Signing in, I've come before, I know how to sign in. It's the same on every website, top right. Okay, think about it. Look back at Honest Company, where's signing? Top right, okay? So I don't need to be educated on where to sign in. Think about it. Think about what you're doing on your experiences, right? All right, let's go in again. Evelyn. Got this lady with her hands in her back pocket without even reading anything. Because the background is clear and I'm not distracted, I know for a fact you're trying to advertise me these shorts, these jeans that are cut and they're ripped shorts. Okay, what does the advert say? Show me some leg. All right, so I know that you're not trying to advertise to me some t-shirt. This ain't cause, okay? The bad thing about this site is it's not accessible. This white writing is not actually easy to read. You need to make sure that your sites are accessible and easy to read, okay? And then what does it say in terms of their value proposition? High rise, perfectly fit, our favorite denim, now cut off for summer, okay? So I know that's what it is, it's denim shorts. Again, not the best call to action, but it says shop skirts and shorts. Not just shop now, not just click here. No, it's the messaging in these call to action buttons, okay? Not just get started, not just shop. She says shop, skirts and shorts. Let's go back up. What is that saying? Their call to action? I'm a candidate. Okay. Not just shop now, like this one. They're speaking to me directly, using my language directly, not trying to have any confusion. Shop, skirts and shorts. And you know what that's telling me? Women. This is more for women. Most of my sales are coming from women. Forget the guys. The guys can work out where they are because they're not the majority of my revenue. The women are. That's why I'm trying to get you to shop skirts and shorts. You feel me? Let's go again. All birds, all right? All birds again. Light on your feet, easy on the planet. Wow. So this is a company that I know that when I buy your shoes is also good for the planet. Let me read more because you're speaking to the emotions of me as someone that cares about buying ethically and sourcing sustainable products. That's who you're trying to aim at. And notice here, there's no headshots. They're not showing anyone's head. They're just showing their body and they're showing those all birds on the bottom. No distractions. What they're saying is, look at my feet. I'm trying to balance. Look at my feet. Okay. Again, call to actions are not great on this website. Shop men, shop women. Really basic, not the best. Okay. Another one here, keeps. Okay. Concise. Don't lose it. Don't lose what? Stop hair loss before it's too late. Oh, right. Take action today with our scientific and affordable approach. Wow, I need to trust this. It's scientific. And not only is it scientific, it's affordable. It's not expensive. Like when I go to the Belmarsh Center or something to get my hair, Belgravia Center to get my hair done. Right. Don't lose it. Big words. Okay. What's that top right? Get started. Oh, that's why it's in black. That's why it's loud. Sign-in is next to it, but it's not loud. Okay. What about if I want to educate myself and learn? Oh, learn is there, top left, and reviews, so I can learn to trust you. And hair loss 101. Wow, they've got the education. These lot know their stuff. It's interesting, right? All of this is on purpose. Think through the eyes of the customer. Think through what they're going through when they're creating these experiences. So I'm blatantly like going through chat and you can see it on the screen, isn't it? It's childish. Right, next. Go through pros. Again, so pros, I'm not going to lie to you. This is a video really. It's kind of wavy. It's kind of distracting, but that's not good. You don't want to distract your customers. So I don't know if it's gal, and because it was gal, but I was watching the video and I was like, rah, these are getting in. And it was all about hair and everyone showing off their different hair. Like I was getting into it and I thought, wait a minute, I'm distracted. So it's not always good to have a video straight on your website. And sometimes it means your website can load slower, especially if you're serving international markets, in developing markets, which are working on 2G maybe or 3G, then actually having a video, they can't even load your website. So it's a poor UX and a bad experience for certain customers. So try not to have videos when you load up, right? So this is not all gravy. I'm not walking through examples and saying everything they're doing is perfect. Okay, I'm schooling here as well. Top right-hand corner, get your formula. Good. Not allowed call to action. All they've done is highlighted the words. Not good enough. Why is signing on the right? It should be on the left. The get your formula should be on the right, like the examples we saw before. And it should be louder, okay? They need to improve on that. It's not great. It's not perfect. Custom hair care bottled just for you. I get it straight away. All right. Because my hair is 4C, I'm trying to think here. I know that I can get custom products for 4C hair. All right. Let me get my formula. Let me see what they're about. And right there, you've got me into the funnel. You see? And again, though, real people in the videos, at least, real people in the background, not no fake, not just my items. Some people waste money just putting items there. I'm going to see your items when I click shop. Show me a person. Show me the emotion. Show me what it looks like to use your item. Come on, we've got to use these points to get people into our funnels. Here's a bonus, right? I'm giving this away for free. I do paid consultation, by the way, in webinars like I'm giving this for free. This is gold for you. Right? Consider a consultation quiz to personalize your shopping experience, number one, learn more about your customer, and obviously collect that gold, which is either a phone number or your email address, because that's that direct conversation and communication and relationship with your customer. It's not what you get when you're on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and putting all that effort in on socials. No, you want to get them into a situation where you have them on your mailing list, because that's where the power is. That's where the gold is. One of our startups, Vitae London, just did a crowdfunding campaign. They had 11,000 people on their mailing list. It was a conversion game. They knew that they were going to raise their 75K on Seeders. In fact, they ended up raising over 80K, and the crowdfund isn't even over. But it's because they had that email address, they have that mailing list, and then it's just a conversion game once you have that email address. So try and collect those email addresses. And don't be those annoying companies that put, as soon as you land on the website, 2 seconds, flash up, sign up to my mailing list. I don't even know what you do, fam. Exit mailing list, let me get back to the website. Don't distract people. That is the wrong thing to do. But if someone's spending too long on your site, like 1 minute, and they haven't clicked on adding anything to basket, then try and get them to the mailing list, because you might be about to lose them. Does that make sense? Or if they get into your checkout, get them to enter in their email address and name straight away before they start. No signing, no, even if they're going in as a guest, get them to set in straight away if possible, so that you have the mailing list. That way, you can even look what's in their basket, send them a 10% discount in 3 days if they don't purchase, and get them back into your funnel. Or if they sign in as a guest, get their email address at the end, and then try and hit them on the mailing list again to ask if they want to join your mailing list, if they like further discount in the future. The email address is so gold. I can't express it enough, because it feeds into that content marketing that you start doing in those paid ads across Instagram and Facebook, when you can do retargeting based off those email addresses that you have, right? And if you do quizzes, don't make your quizzes too long. You see what they're collecting: first name, last name, email address. Even first name, last name sometimes can be in the same field. The real gold is the email address and me knowing if you're a man or female, to be honest. And GDPR, so make sure that you collect that and put GDPR at the bottom, or you can get in trouble nowadays. And then in terms of beginning the consultation, you see how they advertise their contents there on the left nicely. Okay, none of those dodgy images that you just take with your phone in your conservatory or living room in dim lighting. Get some professional shots done. It's a worthwhile investment if you want to build up your D2C brand. All right, another bonus, another one to do with quizzes. Again, personalized shopping experience, learning more about your customer and collecting your email addresses. And what I loved about this website is it's showing me who you're trying to serve. You're trying to serve plus size women. You put them front of center and they're having a good time and they look great in the clothes that they're wearing. And look at this, take our 30-second quiz. They know that we have an attention span of a bloody dolphin now, and we don't want to spend too long. So they're emphasizing the fact that I'm only going to take 30 seconds of your time so that I can learn your body shape. All right. That doesn't sound like that much if you're going to provide me with a personalized shopping experience off the back of that, you know. And then what do I get off the back of that? Find out how diet stylists find the perfect fit for your body shape. All right. And then what's the call to action? Loud and clear. Take the quiz. We don't even want you to shop. It doesn't work. We tried that. It didn't work. So now we get people to take a quiz so we can personalize the shopping experience. That's what this landing page says to me. Right. Here we go again. Then I met you. Okay. Concise with its words. It's time to glow deeper. What does that mean? Let me look at the benefits. Oh, award-winning cleanser. Right. That's what she's putting on her finger. Real person, bright backgrounds. Looks similar, right? Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. It looks like this. Bright background, girl, smiling. We need a little bit of ethnicity in there, but that's all right. That's aiming at America. I understand. But look, smiling, same thing again, applying product. You know, oh, she looks good. Oh, her skin looks good. Her hair looks good. She's applying product to her finger. It's time to glow deeper. What does it say? Give your skin exactly what it needs with our award-winning cleansers. So this is not any cleansers. These are award-winning cleansers. So it feels like it's trusted. Then what have they done there at the top? You see that header? You see that little image? Complimentary shipping on all orders. Right. So now I know I'm not going to pay hefty shipping costs. Why have they put that there? Because shipping was a problem before. They identified that people were falling out the funnel because of the cost of shipping. So they said, I'm going to pay for shipping and shift some of my marketing spend. Instead of paid ads, I'm going to put it to free shipping because it's worth it. Because once we get someone to try it once, they're likely to try it again. Do you understand the psychology of the funnel? That's why this has happened. It's not an accident. Okay. And then look at the call to action there. Shop the cleansing duo. They're actually pushing me to one particular bundle on purpose because they want that bundle to sell. That's where the margins are. That's where the performance is. That's what customers are loving. So they're not even taking me to the rest of the shop. They're saying, I'm taking you to buy this single bundle because that's the seller. Interesting, right? All right. Now, second topic. With that, can you just give me a feel on how valuable that was so far and whether you've learned something and whether you found that useful? Because I feel like I've spoken a lot. And, you know, I want to make sure that I'm adding value to your journey. So just give me a little thumbs up or slap me a high five or something through the chat, just so that I know that this is landing. Lovely. Thank you, Stephanie. Thumbs up. Thank you. Amazing, man. Honestly. All right. Entry routes through ads, all right? Paid ads across Facebook and Instagram provide the opportunity for you to provide specific ads to suit different customer personas. You can only do this when you understand your customers, or if you're trying to run a test in order to understand your customers. Too often, what we do is we just create one ad and blanket ad and we just push it everywhere. That doesn't convert. That's basic. We're playing a game here and you've got competitors. There's about 10 other people that are competing for my share of wallet. If you want to win and you want to win at scale, you need to win that share of wallet. There's so many other people that want it. Think deeper about this ad content. We're going to get into it, okay? What you need to do is educate your customers on the benefits of your product, okay? When I say educate, think about the language you're about to use in your ad. And when I say the benefits of your product, convince me why I need to choose you over the existing alternatives, all right? Here's a few tips at the bottom. If you have a suite of products that work well as a bundle that shit up. It's worth creating a short meme or video just to display them each if you can't just do it in an image or a picture, okay? You can use a meme. Like, don't get it twisted with these ads. It's not just static image. You can actually use a meme or a GIF or a short video. Utilize that, right? You can even do ad videos as well, especially on the likes of like even LinkedIn, which is underpriced attention right now for a lot of you. We're not going to necessarily cover that today unless someone asks a question, all right? But sell the benefits. Make sure you put a price on there. Be transparent. Let them make the purchase decision there, because you know that if someone clicks on that ad to get to their next page, they are a warm lead. And you need to capture that email address quick because they understood the benefits. They got educated. They saw the price, so they know what they're clicking into, okay? And any offers like free shipping, don't hide that. Put it up front. Put it up front. Even if it's a test, put it up front, because sometimes it's better to shift your ad budget to cover free shipping to test whether actually there's a market for you elsewhere that's just being put off because of the shipping cost, which is often the case with your US consumers. Your US consumers sometimes are put off because there isn't free shipping and the cost of shipping is as much as a product, okay? Especially for a lot of the kind of like black founders here that are creating black products or products targeting black brands, okay? In the UK, the black population is tiny, okay? In London, it's something like 1 million people. In America, it's 33 million people. 33 million to 1 million is a game of probability. Even if you convert 1% of each audience, what are you getting? 0.1% of each audience, 0.05% of each audience. We've got to do the math, guys. We've got to do the math, ladies and gents. Yeah? All right? And then the last thing there is just lead to a specific landing page to educate your customer. Stop doing these blanket, lazy one landing pages. We're better than that. All right. So here for men of manual, okay, different entry points, different URLs, okay. So each of their landing pages have different URLs. Those URLs are tracked so they understand who's coming from what landing pages, right? So I can see, you see there I've listed it. Try.manual.co was from a landing page. Their actual website is just manual.co. Okay, and you can see the difference there. On the right hand side is their normal website. On the left hand side is the ad, right? And interestingly, look on their website. The call to action buttons: treat Ed, treat hair loss. Okay, it assumes you have a certain level of knowledge to be able to know treat Ed. What are you talking about? Who's Ed? I'm Kofi. Like, you need to have a certain level of knowledge to even understand that. But with the landing page, they've gone for the education. Look at that. Hard should be easy. I don't know if you've clocked what this is about, right? This is about that blue pill for men, right? This is about that blue pill. So you know what that is, okay? And what does this say here? Luckily, there's one solution available, from consultation to advice. Wow, is that what they give me? Everything from consultation to advice. Wow, that's really good. Okay, that's good. They know what they're doing, right? Get started for £10, as little as £10. Okay, and what they've got here, MHRA licensed medication. All right, this is official. Free and discreet shipping. Good, because I don't want to be embarrassed. I'm living with my wife. I don't want her to know too much about this problem. It's embarrassing. Cancel anytime. Good, good. You know, free and discreet shipping. It sounds funny and it sounds like a joke, but what happens when it gets left with the neighbor? Do you want them to know that you've got a blue pill? It's important to have things like this. They're speaking to the hearts and minds of their customers because they know how embarrassing that experience could be. Okay, cancel anytime. You're not locked in. Okay, can you see that official tag there? That looks like the government in the UK, medicines and healthcare products regulatory agency. For when I see that, I'm like, this is legit. I'm set. I can trust this pill. This pill is legit. This ain't not any ordinary startup. And then look at the emotion on the left. Look, his fiance, she's happy. Look at him, outstanding. He's amazed. But again, it's expressions from real people, right? There's real people there. Then look at it in the description that they put under the ad. Getting hard should be easy. Again, their message, correct, short, concise, value proposition. with our medically approved solution. They know they haven't got much words before you have to click see more. So the first thing they got in there is a medically approved solution. There's a lot of fake products out in the market when it comes to the blue pill. So they know that to win over customers, they need customers to trust that they're real. Okay. Look at how much I've dissected just an ad. Okay. But that's how much I dissect when I'll be studying your ads. Okay. And then let's talk, get the offer, you know. This is they're talking to us. Then look at this. This is another ad that I saw by the same company. Look at this. Remember I told you about showing all of your products? Here, this is a GIF. You see on the left, it's showing one of the products. Wrinkle Warrior. Is that African? Wrinkle Warrior. In the middle, what are they telling me? Backed by science. I'm like, this is legit. What's there at the top? Anti-wrinkle, moisturizer, shampoo, bundle. Backed by science. Built for men. All right, so you're talking to me here. Backed by science, it's legit. Built for men. I'm a man. And what's there at the bottom? Pricing. 52. It was £52, but now it's 39. Raw. You know when you do that magic, it was any price. It works. That's why the shops have been doing it for millennia. From when you were a child and you're going to BHS. Some of you went BHS, isn't it? And Marks and Spencer's. They were always doing that. It was this price, now it's this. It works. It works. It's a psychology of shopping behavior. It works. Free shipping again. We've seen so many offers here with free shipping. Do you see that offer ends soon? They might even be lying, but it works because it's psychology. I need to get it quick before it ends. All right. Here, remember Smile Direct Club? This is their one. They have a landing page where they do a 30-second assessment. Okay. They want to get to know you more. Okay. Again, different URL versus the normal URL. Different call to actions. Now they're getting to do a quiz to qualify who it is. And then they give you an option to opt into their mailing address or not. Okay. Free education to educate you, to understand you, to learn more before we target you. Okay. Then when you look at their Instagram, they've got another URL so they can track how many people are coming through socials, and they're doing all right. They have 300,000 followers on Insta. So then it's a conversion game. They've got their /Insta there. A lot of you are just putting your normal URLs on Insta. No, you need to track every entry point. This is top of funnel, okay? And then when you go to their link in bio, to that link, that Insta link, what does it lead to? Shoppable Insta page. And what you show me, nothing but smiles. Black smiles, Latino smiles, white smiles, yellow smiles, blue smiles, just smiles, baby. Because they understand the game. They're trying to speak to the audience. And this is what you need to do too. Okay, tap on any image to learn more. Okay, obviously I'm going to tap on top left because that's me and that's my image. I would be clicking on that, but it speaks to a lot of people here. A lot of people will be clicking on different calls to actions here. It's smart. This is the game you're playing. Right, finally, on to internationalization. Okay, very challenging and very risky, and not many people speak about this. But VC-backed companies need to be global to win. You have to have global aspirations. I'm not telling you to be VC backed, but if you want to grow at that type of scale, you need to grow global. Even if you want to grow, and don't get it twisted, you know, I'm from a low income background. I don't mind not taking VC funding and growing a business that grows to 5 to 10 million. For me, that's good. And for you, that might be good, but you still need to grow global to capture those wins. Okay. Growing global shouldn't be scary. It should be exciting. Okay. It's about the right strategy and answering the right questions at the right time. You don't on day one just say, I want to go global and start global. You start tracking where are people trying to come from? Where are people trying to buy from? What are going on and trends in other countries that I can tap into? How can I launch in a cost-effective way in other countries? Can I get distribution partners to get into other countries in retail? Can I eventually go wholesale and sell into hospitality or into other sectors? Think it through, okay? Not going international is a wasted growth opportunity. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. Not going international is a wasted growth opportunity. If you really want to go from working evenings and weekends to working full-time on your baby and your business, you need to grow international, okay? What? Make your site and your experience work outside of initial native languages and cultures, okay? When people go international, a lot of people talk about translation of a website, putting into another language. I'm going into Germany, I'm going to put into German. It's very first level thinking, okay? You need to have second order thinking. You need to think about localization, okay? When I'm in Tottenham, the language that I speak, you wouldn't even know is English, okay? Because I localize the English I talk when I'm talking to that local market. But it's the same when you're going international. Even if the site is in English and I'm going to Germany, the words have different contexts. So you need to have German influence over even how you write your value proposition and how actually you structure the words on your website, let alone when you convert it into German. So don't think it's just a matter of translating into the other language and it's done. It's not done. Okay, it impacts conversions big time. Okay, so this includes what I'm saying here, building out translations, local payment types. If you're going to Netherlands, you have to have ideal payments. Have you even heard of that before? Right. You can't assume that everyone in every market is going to be using what you use here in the UK. Very naive. Different countries have different payment options online. You need to learn that. Customer support. Can you support people in those languages? Can you support people in those time zones? Right? When the UK shuts off, are you going to be able to support people? Or is everyone here in the UK? Think about it. Okay? And often, people on the ground getting things rolling. And those first people are often sales. Sales to test that there's a market worth going for. Once they prove the ability to sell, then you can start bringing in an operational team and building in those markets. And I know this isn't tomorrow for a lot of you, but it's really important to understand the path ahead so you know actually what you're building towards. And so that when you start with the end in mind, you can reverse engineer that back into your roadmap and your plan today. Okay? Some of the top tips. The top risk is not just translation, but like I said, localization of the language to suit the local context, okay? And local cultures, right? Different parts of different countries speak different languages. Hold on, let me get this cat away from my... Okay? It's important to understand this. Just give me a second. I'm back, okay? The next thing is the path of least resistance may not be growing across Europe. It might be actually going to America. We've got more cultural alignment in terms of language and cultures to America than going into all of these different European countries, localizing the English for all of these countries, then doing all of the translations for these countries. So sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it's easier to grow into America, especially if you can really address the challenge of shipping and delivery, shipping costs and delivery times. So consider it. Okay, and here I'm talking about shifting the marketing budgets, which I've covered already. Okay, so here's a good example. Okay, shipping and delivery. So this was for, which website was this for? I think it was for Everlane, maybe. Was this Everlane? Okay, so in your website footer, right at the bottom of your website, okay, when you start to go international, right at the bottom of your website, you need to provide a link to international for more information on shipping and delivery times. Yeah. So you see right here at the bottom here, this is a screen print from the bottom of their website. And you'll see that within this screen print is Everlane. Yes. Within the screen print under company, right at the bottom, they've got international. You need to have it as an option, even if you do not deliver international yet, because you can start measuring how many people are going to that page and how much demand you're starting to get from different places. Okay. Then you need to provide a long list of countries that you deliver to in alphabetical order. Don't make it hard for me cognitively, because if you lose me, I'm coming off the page. Yeah. Then be helpful. Provide a way for them to contact or sign up if their country is not listed. So you have something like other. Okay. And you have a way for them to just leave their email address, because that's going to inform your expansion strategy. Because if 80% of the people that have signed up from Ghana, my country of origin, then you know you need to grow into Ghana. You need to go to the Gold Coast. Okay, so be smart. Even here, you have an opportunity to collect email addresses. And I hope you notice that what I'm talking about here is segmentation. These email addresses shouldn't go into your normal mailing list. These email addresses are warm leads for when you expand into those countries. It's at that time you trigger this email address and you start targeting ads to these people and targeting emails to them to convert them, because now you're in their local country. Okay, so have a think about that. Even if you do not ship into the countries, it's worth having this page to start collecting that mailing list. Another example, Allbirds. On entry, provide users with the option to shop on their local website, right? So you see it in the top right of that corner here, you see the flag. When you click the flag, it gives you all of the options to say these are all the local websites that you can shop in. And all of them, different landing page, different pictures. In China, they show me Chinese people. In English, in Britain, in the UK, they show me people that look like they could live here or in any of the Western countries they've listed, right? And you see that at the end, what do they have? Where to next? Because they want to capture your email. That's what's at the bottom there. Want Allbirds in your country? Yeah, I do. I'm going to put my email address in my country. And that way I'm going to start measuring actually where are people coming from. Interesting. All of you need to start doing that. Okay. Then tailor the experiences based on the preferences, such as localized language and URL. URLs in different countries are different, you know. .de, Germany. .co.uk, UK. Okay. Localized payment options. Like I mentioned before, you know, in China, you're going to have Alipay. You know, you might even have to have a lot of your stuff on what's the WeChat, you know. And then you need to make sure you have available stock for that market eventually when you do go to that market. Allow users to easily toggle to different countries if they need to. That's what you saw there in the menu. But also, if you're in America, for example, on holiday, you know, I'm going out to Central America for business next week and then going on vacation there. I'm coming back to England in September. But when I'm shopping out there, they might be asking me, am I delivering to the US or to the UK? Because my URL and my IP address is showing that I'm in the US. Okay, so still provide that option. Use that intelligence because you know people's IP addresses. Okay, there's so much data now that we have to go on. It's actually easier than ever before to provide a tailored experience for your customers. You shouldn't sleep on that opportunity, right? This is an example about localized checkout experiences. Okay, globally, a lot of people still shop with credit cards. Do you accept credit cards? That's over 53%. Okay, look at China. Most people, digital payment systems, number one. India, cash on delivery. So if you don't do cash on delivery, you're not getting share of wallet. You know, let's look at on Western Europe, digital payment systems. Look at all these fragmented different sources, okay? And you'll get a copy of these slides after. I've got on SlideShare, and I'm sure that Ty will share the slides with you. I don't want you to screenshot. And this data was from Nielsen, by the way, the Nielsen report. Okay, just give me a message in the chat to make sure that you're getting value from this still. I know I've been talking for a long, yeah? Great stuff, good. If you said good and not great, I'll be worried. Launch plan, okay? I'm gonna walk through a launch plan. Listen, this is bonus. I'm adding this shit for free, right? I don't usually go through this detail now. Launch plan, okay? I want you to remember today. That's why I'm doing this, right? So much value. I know there's people taking notes. Good, you should be. Use your delivery data or your signups to understand emerging demand in new locations, okay? One new market at a time. You don't rush. Incentivize demand by shifting ad budget to cover free shipping for a limited period. That's called an experiment. Test it for 1 month, maybe for 2 months. Let me look at what it's saying in the analytics. Is it converting? Is it working? Have I learned what my learning objective is? All right, I can stop now, okay? When you are actually launching into that new country, use local press, blogs, influencers, communities, super fans to build awareness and community in those new markets. This is an image, okay, from an influencer in Paris at Glossier's Paris launch, okay, which was one of the events they used to build a company's super fan communities. Because anyone that wants to engage and be at that event must be a super fan. And it doesn't matter if it's small, you know, it could be 20 people in a room, but what it takes is one picture that looks fancy like this. She could have been in some cheap restaurant, you know, but one picture like this and you think that she's somewhere because she's dressed up and made the effort. The background looks okay. And look at all of the comments there. Frost, Glossier, launch party, exclusive. It could have been dead. But that's what you need. You need those shareable experiences. Again, that's organic growth, organic buzz. You want local press to reach out to you like, I want to cover this. What is this? Okay. And sometimes all it costs is Eurostar ticket to France. You plan 1 day experience over a course of a month or two. Connect with local communities as channels into that audience. You do the event for 20 people exclusively, and then you're done. And then all of the content you get from there, you could do podcasts off that. You could do blogs. You could get press down at that event. You can get customer feedback on your products. That one experience, you can sweat it and get 4 or 5 different pieces of content as well as feedback. And what you're doing is creating exclusive experiences to show these superfans that you care for them. So things like these dinners, early access to products. These are the people that want people to share on social because they're trying to show off. You know, the other day on Tuesday, I was in Buckingham Palace. You're not allowed to take pictures in the Queen's house. She wasn't there. She's in Scotland at the moment. But it's one of those experiences where most people will feel like, I want to take a picture. It's not every day I'm in Buckingham Palace, right? Because they're shareable experiences. They're not everyday experiences. So think about it even when you do your launch plan. How can I create an experience and not just an event? How can I create something that's truly shareable because it's so good, you know? And again, This provides feedback so you can fine tune your approach in new markets and drive word of mouth. One of the things I want you to start paying attention to is, do you have any of those customers that you think are annoying, who DM you, take pictures of mistakes you've made or bugs, send it in your DMs or email you? Those people are super fans. You better start loving them. They're not annoying. They're the ones that you need and you want. I've even got some for my personal brand. I've got people that are a fan of me, and in my DMs on Insta every week, sharing news with me, sharing things to put in my newsletter, sharing opportunities with me, even sharing investors with me. But I value them. If they're ever in London, I show them love. If I ever travel to their countries, I show them love. I let them take pictures with me. I even bring them opportunities because they're super fans and they're spreading the word. You need to focus on serving your tribes, and they are your tribe, okay? They're the ones that are really going to get the word out there. So top 3 things to consider, just to play it back to you, okay? I know it's been a long presentation. I think this is the last slide or final penultimate one. Remember, number 1, improve your value propositions and your calls to actions. Make them personal. Don't just say shop now, okay? Have that concise and sweet and short value proposition on your homepage. Number 2, tailor your landing pages to educate new customers from paid ads, okay? Think about educating them, sharing the benefits, being transparent on pricing, sharing if there's any discount, was this, now this, and be really personal with their shipping or other deals or offers that you have on offer, okay? Remember to use different URLs, because we need to track every URL, including the URL that you put onto your Insta bio. You want to track that differently. You can't just put your website link there. It's not good enough, okay? Last one, when expanding to new markets, focus on building community. Get it right, and that community can be an invaluable asset in helping to inform strategic decisions on where and how to launch. That feedback that they give you is valuable, and they become your first sales reps. You're not even paying them. They're your first sales reps. Reward them with discounts. Reward them with referral fees. Keep boosting them. Make them feel special, okay? And here are a few of the sources that I included in this presentation. Some that I didn't actually, like Soylent. But here are some other D2C brands that you could go and look at, go and experience their website, go and have a play around. And at the end, I've got a few case studies. Even got a case study here for a company based up north in the UK worth £4 billion pounds. Yes, you heard me, worth 4 billion. That's as much as M&S. And they're called the THG Group. They own a number of smaller beauty brands and products. They're based up in Manchester, using tech in a sick way, but they're direct-to-consumer brands. You just don't hear of them, not as famous, but they're doing their thing and they're converting. I think that's it. So thank you for your attention. I know it's been ages, and that was very long and a lot of detail to get through, but I hope it was valuable. I hope it was helpful, and I'd love to take any questions if you have any. But thank you.
What we'll do, yeah. So before I even continue, that was amazing. So for me personally, I'm sure you can see from the chat that a lot of people enjoyed that. What does someone say here? So I'm hearing amazing, man. Honestly, great stuff. Pure gold. Okay, cool. Ghana's in, you know what I mean? Okay, cool. I've got 3 more questions that hopefully you can just answer this quite directly, and then we'll open up to the Q&A. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So the first question I know, so we spoke about someone that's, let's say that who you targeted in this presentation is someone that's already in the game, someone that's has a website, etc., that's got a product, etc., an idea. So my question for you is that what is your advice for new entrepreneurs looking to make a start in the D2C space?
For new entrepreneurs, what the lessons still apply, right? Because it's important for you to know, to basically know kind of where you're starting from, where you're trying to get to. You're starting with the end in mind, okay? The first thing to do if you're a new brand is forget even having a website, you know? Start with something basically like an Instagram. You want to try and have direct one-to-one relationship with those that you're selling, yeah? So if I make clothes, for example, and I'm selling garms, I'm going to create a beautiful page on Instagram and have an Insta stories. And maybe I'll do a shoppable experience where if you like my clothes, here's my WhatsApp business number, and hit me up in the DMs. Then in WhatsApp business, I'm having a personal conversation with you. What do you like about it? What color do you want? What size do you want? It feels like a personal one-on-one experience, but really you're getting feedback and learning about your customer. And that's going to inform when you first build your website. Don't just jump to websites sometimes. There's quick, easy, and cost-effective ways to test your market and get your first customers before building your website. That experience that I've just described to you costs you no money. WhatsApp for Business is free. You just need a different SIM card. And Instagram is free. create a shoppable personal experience from Instagram to WhatsApp for business, and you could just send a PayPal or something to collect the payment, or Stripe or Gumroad, and that's it. You do that for your first 50 to 100. You learn about the language, you learn about what they want, and use that to tailor your first website.
Perfect. The second question, or I got two more questions. I'll be quick. So from an investment perspective, because you spoke about your Backstage Accelerator VC background. So could you share a few tips on how entrepreneurs can best align themselves to receive funding? So for those who don't want to bootstrap, or they have a very, very big ambitions, what are your also advice for that?
Yeah, so look, sorry, I'm just trying to put some light here so you lot can see me a bit. It looks like Halloween or something. So if you have big ambitions and you do want to get venture capital, that is fine. But you need to be able to have, you can't get it just off your back idea. You need to have some sales, you need to have some traction. So you need to have some evidence that you found something that customers really want. And you need to almost prove that you have demand that outstrips supply. Like, I've got so many people that want my products that I can't even supply to them. It's always selling out, or month for month, I can see it's 5% growth, 10% growth, 20% growth, 20% growth, 20% growth, 20% growth. Like, you need to make that feel like FOMO. Like, I don't want to miss out on this because they're selling so well. Venture capitalists don't want to feel like, oh, it's with my money where you're going to figure out how to find your audience, where you're going to figure out how to sell. They want to show that you've got something that works, but actually you need more money to scale it. Because actually I've got so much demand, I need to put my money in order to meet that demand, okay? If not, one of the clever things you should do if you're up and running, generating revenue, is working well, invoice factoring or working capital loans. If you understand your margins and your numbers, then you understand it might be worth getting a working capital loan to get shipment off your supplier, start selling it, then pay back that loan within 60 days because you know that you're getting those sales in. And that doesn't have to be off like a platform like Funding Circle or from a bank. There's private angel investors that would do working capital loans. I know a few people that work at city firms who do working capital loans, or Cornerstone Group, or a few of these other angel syndicates now. They provide working capital loans. And I'd rather get a loan than give away equity to my business, because once I've paid back the loan of interest, I still own 100% of my baby. And that's what I want. Because the more I get diluted and the more equity that I lose, maybe the less incentivized I get. Like, how do you feel if you have 3% of your business where it's worth 100 mil, but you know that there's someone else that has 100 mil business but owns 90%? That means if you both exit and get acquired for the same price, that person's a multi-millionaire. You might be a 1 or 2 million, or you might have hundreds of thousands, depending on what your cap table looks like. VC maths can be so destroying when you make mistakes and you just take on the money without understanding the consequences.
Perfect. Thank you very much for sharing that. The last question I have is, do you offer any online coaching or like anything to do with like so stuff that you shared today? Do you have anything like that available?
Definitely gonna double down and do more of the A-team once you start launching a lot of your products as well. But yeah, I've got at the moment a few free courses and products, all at andyayim.com. I'm going to be releasing more over this summer, mainly around like building products that customers love. So aimed at people that want to get that initial traction. Disregard funding for now. If you're bootstrapping, this course will be for you. Focus on that onboarded experience, on that first products launch and get that experience right. Work with developers, how to build that first version of your website, how to use product principles for setting your vision, your strategy, your roadmap. You go through all of that kind of detail. But I've also got a lot of mini courses that I spin off, like 6 ways to build an MVP without code, breaking into product management, and getting started with working in Agile. There's a lot of mini courses I spin out for free. And then I've got a few like workbooks that are coming out in the next few weeks, but mainly for breaking into new careers in tech for non-technical people. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of different products and services from me in the next couple of months before the year ends.
Sick. Okay, cool. So hopefully you can stay with us for the live Q&A. Is that all right?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah? Okay, cool. So at this point, I want to open up the floor. I see, guys, because it's only 8 of us here, feel free to unmute yourself and talk. If you want me to talk for you, then write on the chat, that's fine. But if you guys want to talk, just let me know, unmute yourself. I'll ask the first question here from Sam, since he's already put it down. So he says, when you suggested shifting the marketing budget to say free shipping for a new company, what other effective methods of marketing can be used?
Yeah, so you don't have to do the free shipping thing, but if that's like for me, you're studying funnels, right? So all you're doing is looking at conversion across your funnel. Remember that funnel at the beginning? Like where are people coming in from? Instagram ads, organic, newsletter, people that signed up from this event. Then they come and land on your website, first stage of your funnel. Then from that, a few people get lost, a few people go to the next phase and start shopping. And when they shop, they'll put some stuff into basket. When they put some stuff into basket, some of them will get lost. And those that get lost, you might send an email to in 3 days with a 10% discount to get them back in. And then both those that you get back in and those that go to checkout will then pay. Your goal is wherever I'm getting dropout across that funnel, I need to optimize. So if I'm getting dropout in that checkout basket, one of the options may be, if you learn from speaking to customers and interviewing even 5 customers, the reason I'm dropping out is because of your cost of shipping. So then how are you gonna address that problem? Okay, you don't have to ship marketing to cover shipping. Maybe you make shipping cheaper. Maybe you find a new logistics supplier that can help you make shipping cheaper. But if you want to sell into those countries and shipping is a barrier, you need to overcome that barrier. If it's not shipping, it might be delivery times. Again, if you understand it's a problem, you need to fix that problem. There's multiple ways that you can fix that problem, but you need to fix that problem. So I'm not saying like shift your marketing money and always cover that, always cover shipping off that. But more what I'm trying to say is the logic is understand your funnel. And whenever there's dropouts on your funnel, you need to understand why they're dropping out. And you understand that through interviewing customers or doing observational studies when you get them to use your website.
Okay, guys, it seems that we've lost Andy. I mean, he's spitting too much fire. Zoom couldn't handle the content, as Sam said. So what we'll do is that we'll just literally wrap things up. And if you guys have any questions, I'll basically feel free to send them to me directly or through email. I'll get Andy to see if he can share his email with you guys. If you have any direct questions for Andy, he'll be more than happy to answer, I'm sure. So at this point, what I would love to do is just kind of like do what we always do, just round things up. If you guys enjoyed it, Sam will kindly share a link in the chat where you guys can give any feedback. If you've done it before, do it again. If you feel like we could improve something here and there, then by all means do it. It's really, really appreciate. We really, really appreciate it. And as well, like before I even go into the A-team or what the A-team is about, you guys know it's active commitment today inspires victory every day. And of course, we affirm, we commit, we test, iterate, validate, and execute on our plans to make it real. Now, I would love for you guys to literally, if you guys know anyone that you think will benefit from this, I don't share this on social media. I don't do any crazy ads to promote things. I want to keep it very, very, very organic and authentic to individuals, because I know if you guys are sharing it for someone that you feel will benefit, I know it's of value. So the more people you guys invite to this and you think it's of value, then feel free to invite your friends, as we'll be very, very appreciative. Andy is here now. So I'm not sure if he wants to kind of finish off the live Q&A. Let me see where he is. Hold on. Here he was again. Andy, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, no worries. So what we do is to round up, we have only one question. I'll allow you to answer that question and then we'll basically round up. So the question that we have is from Mark. We did lose what you were saying. So on the previous question though,
Is it me or can anyone else not hear Ty properly?
Can you guys hear me properly, guys? Yeah. Can you hear me, Andy?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what I was saying is that we lost you a bit in the last question. So do you remember where you were?
Yeah. So I think I was just explaining basically that with the shifted marketing spend to your funnel, what I mean to your shipping, that's not the example to say like that's what you need to do. It's more an example to say that's the logic. You need to understand your conversion funnel. You need to understand when people arrive at my site, how many are dropping out. When people are arriving at my shopping basket, how many are dropping out. And you need to understand why are they dropping out. When you understand why they're dropping out, then you can come up with solutions to increase, optimize, and get more people into your funnel and less people dropping out. You want to reduce that dropout rate. So for example, one of the reasons that they might drop out of your checkout is because shipping is too high. Then you need to solve that problem. It might not be shifting marketing spend. It might actually be work with a different delivery partner that's cheaper. so you can increase, or might be reducing your margins on shipping, or taking a hit on shipping, or it might be that delivery times is the problem. So then you might have to work with a different provider who can provide better delivery times. Like, it depends on what the problem is. And the thing is, analytics will tell you where the dropout rate is. It will tell you that people are dropping out of checkout. But what analytics doesn't tell you is why. And you only get the why from speaking to customers, which is why you need to keep on speaking to customers early and often, because you really want to get a well-oiled machine when it comes to your funnel and reduce that dropout rate before you start putting money towards marketing and paid ads to attract people into that funnel. Or else you're attracting people into a leaky bucket and you're wasting money on marketing, which is what too many people do. Instead, you need to tighten up that loop on that conversion funnel first before you pump money into marketing.
Perfect. Thank you. The last question we have is from my mate, Mark. Okay, so what would your marketing and onboarding strategy be for a pre-order campaign?
First things first is you need to build up that mailing list. And you can build up that mailing list by just focusing on having a strong content strategy, okay? And when you come from like a low income background and you're born with not much access to opportunity or not much privilege, the one thing you can do to gain to gain leverage is social capital. Everyone can start a blog. Everyone can start a mailing list. Everyone can start a podcast. Even if you don't have mastery yourself, you can interview people that you want to know. You could do a podcast interviewing suppliers. You could do a podcast interviewing D2C brands. You could do a podcast interviewing like anyone in your field so that you can build that network, build that relationship, and build your knowledge. And the thing is, what customers will love is they're getting value beyond your product. That's what content does. Value beyond product. You know, if you go on Sumo Me or Drift or any of these websites, all of them have content in the form of like podcasts, even slides on SlideShare, even videos that they put on YouTube. And all of those content is nothing to do with the actual product. But what it is adding value beyond your adding value beyond your product to your customer base, and is attracting new people that love what you're speaking about, then find out about your product in a secondary way. So I would double down on a content strategy that allows me to build up that mailing list so that I know that when I do that campaign, I can send out a quick survey to get a feel of how committed people are and why. So with the Seeders campaign, for example, that Vitage has done, he had this survey to understand what commitment levels do we have. People were saying 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I want to invest 150. And then he asked, what do you like? What's the number one thing you like about a brand? Oh, I love the purpose. I love the cause. I love the fact that it's given. But that is the feedback. He needs to understand the value proposition and feed that back now and tailor the experience so that in that campaign, he talks about the cause, about the giving, about what he does for the kids in Africa, because that's what people want to hear. Okay. And in his head, he said to himself, all right, if worst case scenario, 5% of people convert, what can I get? Right? If 10% convert, what do I get? And then you do it in phases, because when you do that survey and you understand how many people want it, you have the campaign in private when you launch, and then you convert that mailing list, because you want to try and get 20 to 30% of the money in before you launch officially on the platform. Okay. Then it's about getting press and PR. And then you need to line up a lot of your press, BBC, Forbes, Business Insider, the Entrepreneur Mag, Inc., even the community bloggers and influencers. That's when you lined up. And that's the second wave of funding. And then the final wave of funding is around people that know about your brand that just took time to convert, as well as the actual platform. Like now the platform will put you on their website. Now that they put you in your newsletter, you should get that extra wave of funding. That should take you to completion or overfunding, right? But you need that community first. You need that tribe first to go off. One thing you need to be conscious of is payday. When is your launch? When is payday in correlation to your launch? You want a launch that's around payday so that people can put payday money into your launch, you know, and you want your launch to cover at least one other payday, because that's when people are going to put money into your launch. And then the press is going to remind them to do that. You know, the social validation, and you need to go ham on the content as well during that period. The campaigning is an art. It's more of a science actually than even an art. But you need to understand the funnel, even when doing campaigning for crowdfunding or pre-orders.
Sick. How did you find that, Mark? Did you find that helpful? Let us know if you found that helpful. I'm sure you did, because I definitely did. So you did. Okay, we're gonna make that the last question anyway. He said very thanks. So I'm just gonna repeat what I said. So I'll end it off nicely. So again, the feedback link will be shared on the chat. Again, sorry, before I do that, Andy, thank you very, very, very much for the time, the effort, the value that you shared with us. It's much, much, much appreciated. Yeah, thank you very much. And I'm sure everyone else is very, very appreciative of your time as well. And yeah, so again, guys, the link is in the chat. The A team, so you guys know the ACTIV stands for Active Commitment Today Inspires Victory Every Day. And of course, we affirm, we commit, we test, iterate, and validate, then execute on our plans to make it real. Like I said before, guys, this is something that I've done. I don't share on social media. I don't basically go crazy with paid ads. I want it to remain very, very authentic and genuine. So if you guys are enjoying this, invite a friend. Don't block their blessings. You feel me? So we've got a lot of more talks lined up for the next few weeks. I've been a little bit AWOL. But yeah, I'm back now. But yeah, much appreciated, guys. So thank you again. And I got some stuff in the chat. Cool. Andy's sharing some stuff for you guys, so make sure you look at that. So yeah, love, guys, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Cheers.